Yes. All right, Mr. McClellan, you've been hammered for this column, and I think part of the thing that people are thinking is, look, last year we saw again Planned Parenthood get what, $400 million from the federal government for sex education for teens and so forth. Large programs, a lot of money for a place that makes a lot of money on abortion. And this year we're spending what, $880,000 to study the sex activities of snails. And why don't we cut those things before we start cutting funeral honors for veterans?
Well, if I was in charge of things, we'd cut a whole bunch of stuff. You know, we cut out here in Missouri the live bugler because the $25 cost was too much. And one of the buglers came to me and we were talking about it, and I found out that the cost is $400 approximately, and we have over 700 of them a month. And I thought, why don't we just let the VFW, the American Legion, the Marine Corps League take care of this? And that was the point of the column, and the column said that, you know, the way you cut a budget is you cut little programs that might be nice but you don't need, and you trim bigger ones. And it's been taken as, you know, a despicable attack on veterans, and, you know, I think it's almost amusing.
Well, and have you advocated for other similar conservative-oriented spending cuts on, let's say, green energy and some of the little things that I just mentioned with the snails and the Planned Parenthood? Or no, is it only limited to cutting money when it's spent on veteran funerals?
No, as a matter of fact, I advocated cutting money from the President's Act, where all the former presidents, I mean, that's costing us $3.7 million a year. But generally, I don't write budgetary stories. I only wrote this because the buglers came to me.
Oh, okay. So I mean, I think, Bob, of the buglers. I mean, I imagine we could probably on this show tonight raise the money to cover the buglers for everybody for the next year if that's what we wanted to do. But it seems
well,
to
that
me
would
that
be good.
Go ahead. Well, let me just get Bob in this. No, go ahead. We're going to let him go, but you can go finish up your thought.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, it's hard to cut anything when everybody always says, well, don't cut this program because you can cut more over there.
I got it. I got it. But it's obviously, you know, it's going to be inflammatory when you write this column. When you wrote it, I mean, of all the things you can write about, is that really the most pressing issue facing the people of St. Louis? How much the buglers cost? I mean, I would imagine the Medicaid fraud. I would imagine the disability fraud in this country, the fraud on green jobs that was sold to this American people as some windfall of productivity and ended up being a total joke. I mean, that's real money. This is not real money.
Well, I think you misunderstand what I think you misunderstand what I do, Laura. I write 4 columns a week, and I don't try to pick the most pressing issues facing America.
Well, why'd you do the heroic? Why'd you had to put the line in about they're not all heroes? I mean, why that?
Because it's true, and I'm one of them. I served in Vietnam in the Marine Corps, very unheroically. Yeah. My father was on Guadalcanal. He ran a still.
So he would get one. He would get a military funeral. Would you? Is there a test for who gets a military funeral and doesn't?
I would say if my father had wanted a military funeral, he could have gone to the VFW. But Bill, I didn't give a military funeral.
Yeah, Bill, this is, as you, I would hope, acknowledge, an earned entitlement. You know, we've had millions of people that have served this country. When we put them in the ground, this is a country expressing its deep gratitude for the freedoms we enjoy in this land. And these people, you know, whether they were like you and went to Vietnam and didn't see hostile fire, that's beside the point. They set aside their entire lives in order to go out there and serve their country, and it had an effect. It had a great effect. My father-in-law served in the Second World War. He earned a Bronze Star. He didn't see really a lot of hostile fire, but yet his generation is dying 1,000 a day, 365,000 a year. Yes, it is expensive, but we only have less than 1% of the American public that has ever sacrificed at all by serving in their armed forces, and we need to really revere this service because it keeps us all free.
I would say that whether you peel potatoes as a cook or a repairman,
absolutely.
Every job in the military is important because without the cook, the forward combat operating officer can't do his job. So everybody is important.
The tip of the spear is less than 20%. Most people don't fight at all.
Right.
It's they're back there pushing supplies and supporting what's going on. That's what's important.
Well, my point is, I think a lot of the guys are like me. When I got out, I went to college under the GI Bill, and I feel like I'm square with Uncle Sam. I don't think the taxpayers owe me anything more.
Well, you don't have to get a
funeral.
If I want a military funeral, I could go to,
I could have the VFW.
Bill, I appreciate
no one's forcing you to have the military
Bill, I appreciate your service, and I appreciate every man and woman that served this country honorably, because we need them, and we need more today.
I think we can cover the bugler somehow. Gentlemen, it's great to see both of you.